estimation, I would like to start with the indirect taxes because quite often these are things that we don't pay too much attention to because it doesn't hit us immediately. Why should businesses, or why is it important to understand indirect taxation, and how do you mitigate against suffering the kind of situation that Uncle John did in the end?
Okay, so Insha, you're very right. For a lot of entrepreneurs, when they're going to start business, of course, everybody thinks about direct taxes because it's what hits your income. You feel it directly, and so that's where the focus is. Mm-hmm. And most people tend to forget about indirect taxes until it comes back to bite them. So as a business, yes, you need to think about indirect taxes. One of the reasons why you should do that, if you recall in Jijaja's presentation, he was talking about Uncle John passing on, recovering his VAT through his pricing mechanisms. But the question is, if he had thought about indirect taxes properly, could he have registered if he was eligible to register? Could he have done that? Could he have recovered some of the VAT and so that his prices would not have been affected? Could he maybe have made more sales because his prices would not have been as high if you were recovering VAT through the proper means? So these are the considerations that you should have as a business, because it's really sad when there's an audit and the tax authority comes in and they tell you that, hey, you meet all the markers to have registered and charged the tax, but you didn't. And so they go ahead and levy the penalties, and that can be pretty painful.
Wow. So my math is not that great, but if tax on, I buy something and the total cost is 100 cedis, which includes tax, and I want to slap my 17.5 on there, then it's 117 cedis, 50 pesos. And that's basically what Uncle John was doing. How does that impact on, at the end of the day, he's just transferring the price to the cost, which is what we all do. If you buy X amount of products to sell at 10 Ghana cedis a pop, and your transportation costs 2 cedis, and you need a margin of a decent 3 cedis, it means you sell it for 15 cedis. Is that not a prudent way to do business?
Yes, that's a very simplistic way of looking at it. And by way of updates, the VAT rate has changed. It's now actually 12.5%. And then we have the straight levies, the NHIL, and the Get Fund levy of 2.5% each. That was just by way of update. Okay. Now, Isha, you're very right. You start off with a cost base of 100, and you want X margin. So you slap on your margin, slap on the VAT, and then that is how much you sell your product for. But the question is, in that cost buildup of 100, could you have recovered the 12.5 in this circumstance, so that you're starting off with a cost base that is already less than the 100 GC? So you're starting off with about 87.5 as your cost base. Okay. If your margin is a percentage, then of course, then the margin is smaller, and then when you put on your taxes, it's smaller as well. So these are the benefits that you need to think about in terms of indirect taxes, rather than this is my entire cost base, I want this margin, and so this is it, and this should be the taxes that go on top of it.
Okay.